Okay, I thought I'd do a little video on how I pan my Lode gold. I got a pretty good piece of quartz here. This is pretty oxidized stuff. I've had good luck with some gold in this before, so I'm going to try crushing it up by hand. This is what I would do in the field. I have this propane can, 5 gallon with the top cut off. I drop that in. I've got a little crusher here I use, so that's probably good enough for a little pan sample. Let me shut this off so I can turn the camera around and show you how it looks. Okay, so that's about the consistency for this, and I'll run it through a classifier. And usually use about a 30 mesh, so I'll get that out and show you how to do it. Okay, so I get this, knock the dust down. It's a little damp right now. It's snowing out. It's still kind of sticking. Normally have a rubber mallet with me I like to use. That'll work. There it is, so I will classify it down and then bring it to my little pan station. Okay, so this is the setup we use out in the field. So I can just pack a few gallons. I'll have 2 pans, and I use a generic jet dry here. A few drops in each one. Now, this is my pan of choice. I think it's a smooth side. It's about that's probably about an assay ton if you were going to do a fire assay. Going to give you an idea. Maybe a little more. So I will set the camera back so you can see my station, and I'll show you how to do it. Okay, so hopefully I don't block this. I can't see the camera, so I got that. So start in 1. This will be the dirty water. So I'll just agitate it for a while. Slowly work it down to that bottom corner. I'll use the smooth side of the pan. And you know, everyone has their own pan of preferences. Just the one I like to use. So I'll get the initial shakedown. So then I'll just slowly. I like to imagine all that material's in suspension when you're shaking it. And I like to let it sit for just a second so it settles, because you want any gold that shook down locked into the bottom. And slowly pour out. The first time I just kind of pour off the dirty water, see what it looks like. Get a little more. And agitate it, get it loose so the gold, the heavies will hopefully get to the bottom. And I let it settle. Slowly pour the water. I don't want it fluid, and then I'll just dip some off the top. I'll take my time, I do it pretty slow. Lode gold is really fine, you'll lose it. I mean, I'll probably still lose a little bit, but this is just a, you know, a field test, see if there's gold or a decent amount of gold, so I'm definitely not catching all of it. Get that shaken up, let it settle. You don't want it fluid when you do this part, the gold can run out. Dip off that top. Do it again. Let it settle. You don't want to shake it when you dump it. That was my bad. Be alright. Loose. Get that gold down that bottom edge. Let it settle. Slowly pour it. Lift that top material off. Hopefully just loose quartz. I'll do this several times. I want to make sure that I don't accidentally dip too deep and knock some of that gold that should be lodged in that rim. You just resettle it to get it back down if it started trying to kind of drifting up. So let it settle, lock it in. So a fire assay that you would send in, they will melt what's called an assay ton. The amount of material is 29.16 grams, and the math of that works out to every milligram of gold they get out of at the end of that equals 1 ounce per ton. So I keep meaning to measure out about what an assay ton is. I think it's about a quarter cup. Give you an idea of how much material you'd want to do out in the field to give you a rough idea of what a fire assay would be. The fire assay will always get you a little more because it'll melt all that, you know, remove the stuff locked up in sulfides and any of that, but it'll give you an idea of what you have for free gold. Again. Shaking back down. Settle. I'm getting close to where I'll switch over to that clean pan there. I want clean water when I get to the end so I can see what I'm doing. Probably go one more time here. Let it settle. Yeah. Now, okay, so that's about how much I got left. I'm going to switch to this clean pan, and then you can start to see what you're doing. Here you get it down to the end. Let it settle. A little bit more there. The Lode gold is oftentimes really fine. I have bad eyes, so I'll use a loupe, but hopefully this stuff will show some gold you can see in the camera. Okay, so that's probably good enough. Well, hopefully this will show up on the camera how I like to do this now. So now I'm going to slowly fill this up. There, let me see if I can get on this other side. Hopefully you can see that. So now I keep it tilted where the material's on the uphill side. And I'll tap on this top, and it knocks the lighter material down, keeps the heavier material towards the top. And I don't know if there's any gold in this one, to be honest. You can see, I'm going to grab the camera, hopefully I don't knock it over, so I'm going to do this. So that's just some sulfides and heavies, probably some metal from the, from crushing out of the can, the propane can in the crusher. So let me grab a magnet. I'm going to pull that out, and then I'll put the camera back on because it kind of cleans it up, make it easier to see. Well, I can't find my little pen magnet, unfortunately, but I do have this one here. So let's see. It's any magnetics, usually from the crusher that's in there. A little bit of stuff you can see get picked up there. So right there you can see a pretty good couple pieces of gold, right? The tip of my finger there. There's some gold right there. So that is how it works. That's some super fine stuff. And that's what you're left with. Works pretty good. Well, hopefully that'll help you do some tests out in the field.